For 15 years, Ancestry.com has helped families all over the world discover their roots. Now, we're proud to introduce a new service to help connect families to relatives they never knew they had. Ancestry Now.
I always wanted a sister.
Thanks to Ancestry Now, I found out I have a cousin.
My baby will get to grow up with something I never had, an uncle.
Stacy!
2 months ago, I didn't even know Kevin existed. Now, we have sex all the time.
Sorry, I think I misheard you. What?
We have sex. Banging, screwing, humping and bumping. You know, fucking.
I don't think you're in the right place.
We're here for the Ancestry.com commercial.
No, this is actually...
Ancestry.com is a great way for sexual deviants all across the globe to discover and bonk distant relatives.
Or not so distant. We're first cousins.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna need you guys to leave the building.
Ancestry.com. It's not illegal in New Jersey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Connor Kinna Show. This is our second episode, and we apologize for the small hiatus we went on. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do as many episodes as we wanted to this semester, but we do have new writers, actors, and people in production. So we have a great show for you guys today. We have special guest, the acting department chair for the Department of Media, Journalism, and Film, Dr. Howard Kleiman. And we have some great sketches written by some of our newest writers and some of the people we had from before. So we have a great show. Please enjoy.
Thank you for the wonderful meal, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. It was so great to finally meet you and see your beautiful home.
It's no problem, Jim. Me and the missus have actually been dying to meet you. You're all our little girl talks about, and we want to see if you lived up to the hype.
Oh, Daddy, stop. He's just so wonderful. It's so hard not to.
Aw, you two are just so cute together.
I agree. You know what would make this night even better? A game. Charades!
Charades?
That's right, Jimmy boy, charades. It's a Thompson family tradition. It was my grandfather's favorite game, it was my father's favorite game, and now it's my favorite game.
All right, sounds fun. I haven't played charades in years.
Hey, no pressure or anything, but my dad takes this game very seriously, so just really try to do well because it'll impress him.
Yeah, of course. Charades is easy.
All right, let's get started, shall we? Shoebox is filled with words written by my grandfather, so not even I know them. Keeps the game fair. I only bring it out on special occasions, so don't screw this up. I'll go first.
Rabbit.
Right there, Jimbo, you got it. You're up.
All right, let's see here. What do I don't really know how to do this one. Should I maybe just draw again?
Nonsense. There's no redraws in a Thompson family charades game. Go on.
Go on, honey. I'm sure you'll do great.
All right.
Are you a rocket ship?
No, I'm sorry. That one was hard. My
No,
fault, guys.
Why don't you give it another go, Jim?
Oh, no, really, it's fine. Someone else
No,
can
not
go.
everybody picks
Jim.
it up immediately.
Go again.
Okay. Sure, yeah. God damn it.
What the hell is wrong with you? We're trying to play a fun family game, and you come in here and ruin it with your vulgarity?
I'm just reading what's on the slips. Go, you, here. Read these. You'll see.
It says planting flowers.
Oh, what the fuck?
Honey, I think it's time you take your friend here and leave.
I'm sure we're leaving.
It was lovely to meet you, Jim. So you go over and under, and then you loop-de-loop, and that's how you tie a shoe.
That was really good, Jane. I still have no idea what this has to do with the language arts, though.
Yeah, Mr. Johnston, what do these presentations have to do with this class?
Oh, that's a very good question. I like to think that I learn from you students. Like right now, I'm learning how to be an adult. All right, next up is Tom with his presentation on how to use a spoon.
Wait, Mr. Johnson, we're all in high school and you're in like your 40s. Shouldn't we already know how to use a spoon?
Well, sure, I mean, we do. I'm just gonna give us a little refresher.
Well, is there something that we're supposed to understand besides the basics? Like, is it a metaphor for something?
Yeah, we'll go with that, a metaphor.
Well, if there's a metaphor, I don't get it. Could you explain it to us?
Sure thing, I can, because I am the teacher, and that's what teachers do. There. So, let's get started. All right. You see this here? This is the this is the spoon eye. Yeah, that's right, the spoon eye. It's shaped like the round fashion because that's how a spoon is used. And this part is the well, I'm not here for knowing. Well, I'm here to teach you. Why don't you guys tell me what this part is? Anyone know?
The handle?
Halitosis.
Handle.
Hammurabi.
Handle.
Ovaltine.
Handle.
Handle.
No, yes. The handle, yes.
Asthma.
Handle.
The handle. All right. Yes, the handle. I know what that is. The handle and the spoon eye. Now it's time for a demonstration. Tom, you look like you know how to use a spoon.
Mr. Johnson, why don't you demonstrate? I don't think we're getting this metaphor.
Oh, right. Yes, a demonstration. Watch how I demonstrate how to use this spoon. Here. Here. Oh, clams! Oh, sorry, I'm a bit of a cusser.
Mr. Johnston, do you not know how to use a spoon? What's going on here?
All right, you got me. Truth is, I don't know how to use a spoon. In fact, I don't know how to use much since I'm really a big 2-year-old.
That explains the project on fitting shapes into holes. How did you get this job?
Well, I just kind of was walking around chasing butterflies, following Cheerios, when all of a sudden I came across a school. Just kind of walked into a class and, I thought the teacher was gone and you thought I was him.
Wow, this entire time while we thought you were teaching us metaphors, you were actually just teaching us basic skills like counting.
Oh, and it looks like the jig is up. Sorry, folks, it looks like it's time for me to pack up my stuff and go home.
Mr. Johnson, wait. In your 3 months of teaching, I've learned more in my life than all of my 16 years of being alive. If you pack up and go, so much knowledge has been untapped. We need you, Mr. Johnson, as much as you need us.
Do you really think so?
Of course, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, you guys come here!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Acting Department Chair for the Department of Media, Journalism, and Film, Dr. Howard Kleiman.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Not too bad. Yourself?
Good. Very good.
So, thank you for coming on the show. It's our second show, and we're still getting the hang of things. But we thought, why not have a veteran of the department come on in and share some thoughts and share some of your experience here. So
good. Happy to be here.
Why not start for those who don't know you? And we like to just every time we have a guest, kind of share a little about themselves and just a backstory and
Sure. Native of Chicago, as some people we know are. And we've been here 34 years. I always take a little catch in my throat when I say that because it sounds ridiculously old. I went to the University of Illinois for my undergrad. I went to Boston University. I went to University of Oregon for my PhD. And when I came here, I started teaching actually production. I've kind of gotten away from that and generated an interest in media law. And then most of my time now is spent on our traveling program in Hollywood and a program in Washington.
And so actually, yeah, we actually have you on the show today to talk about that. You've been here for 34 years, quite some time, and we've seen a recent success in this Inside Hollywood program, and I was wondering if you could share your role in that and just about the program in general.
Sure. So a couple of faculty, really, Dave Scholey and myself and Richard Campbell, who's the normal head of the department, put together the program about 4 years ago. We went out to Los Angeles, met with a bunch of Miami alums and said, we know we have a bunch of students back in Oxford who would love to come out to LA and see if they could get their foot in the industry, but it would be really helpful if the alums would kind of meet with them and generate speakers and mini internships. And the alums immediately thought this was just a great idea, and they couldn't do enough for us. And so the first program rolled out about 4.5 years ago. Started as both a summer program for 3 weeks and a winter program. Now we're just doing the winter because we just realized that it's just too much. It's too big an ask of the people out there to help us twice a year. These are really busy people doing what they're doing professionally. So we just go out once now a year in January for 3 weeks with 16 students.
That's great. And so you've said alumni play a big role in this. And so I was wondering, do we always see alumni as a part of the program, or have we expanded?
No, so it's a lot of alums, but a lot of the people talk to us too don't necessarily have a Miami tie. And one of the classic examples to talk about is at Jeopardy. Friend of a stranger of a friend kind of thing led us to the people at Jeopardy, and actually they have a particular university they're tied to in the sense that their executive producer, Harry Friedman, their head writer, both are University of Nebraska graduates, but ironically, they've never been asked, from what I understand, to host a Nebraska group. But when we asked, and after they thought about it, because they don't typically have, kind of civilians on the set, because they're always worried about the sanctity of the questions. Quiz show scandal of the 50s still kind of looms over everybody. But they bought into it, and they have been extraordinarily generous in terms of our visits. So there's an example, and there are others where it's not necessarily a Miami faculty person. We go to Conan O'Brien, and there's nobody on the show that's from Miami, but because of alums who know people at Conan, we've been able to generate this terrific visit every year with Conan and the people on the show.
Well, so it's another great segue for us talking about Conan is a great example. You visit a lot of studios and companies, and I was wondering if you had just a few notable ones that either you really enjoyed or surprised you on your first visit.
Well, I can't think of any I haven't enjoyed. I'm a big football fan, so we go to the NFL Network, and we have alum who was in the studio taking a class 20 years ago, is now a senior producer and produces the draft coverage for the NFL Network, Charlie Uke. One of our alums from Miami, though he was actually, I think, an English major, was Chris Rose, who's on air talent for the NFL Network and MLB Network, and used to host the Best Damn Sports Show on Fox. So that's a really cool visit. Jeopardy, I was trying to get on for years, so finally going to the show and meeting Alec Trebek and the people around the show, extraordinary. And great fun.
So with Jeopardy, I know you do have a little interesting story. You did take I
took the online test, passed that about, 8 or 9 years ago. And when you pass it, you go to usually a big city close. In this case, it was Chicago. And so there were about 20 of us who went to Chicago and tried out. And it's a really interesting process. And in fact, some of the people now we've met in LA were out on the road. Trebek doesn't go on the road, not surprisingly, but some of the people, talent coordinators, go out, and you do another test, and then you kind of play a mini version of the show, and they give you absolutely no feedback. And so, you have to kind of judge yourself. Did you do okay? And all they say when you leave is, you're now now in a pool for the next year and a half, and maybe you'll get called, but we don't call everybody.
Right.
And I never got the call. And so,
but look at you now.
but I ended up on the show.
Yeah,
in a
you're
sense.
still.
I get paid to go to LA, so I'm kind of making some money being on Jeopardy. But what's interesting is, again, this church-state thing is so strong that because we know people now at the show, this wouldn't apply for the students, but I could never, I can't even bother taking the online test again and trying to be a contestant, because now that I've gotten reasonably close to the executive producer and people on the show, it's like, no, you've kind of crossed over. So that's fine. You know, it's
I mean,
been
I think
great fun. Yeah.
You have a good gig now with
And ironically, there's a student who's just been accepted in our Inside Washington program who has passed the online test and is going to Chicago. So when that came up in our interview, I told her, okay, let me tell you, I know how this goes, and tried to give her some pointers, even though it didn't obviously work for me. So.
Right. Well, I mean, hey, any advice is good advice, especially when it comes to something like that. Yeah. So, what would you say, heading back toward, let's say, the Inside Hollywood, and talking about our students, what would you say are some of the most important things or experiences these students walk away from? Why is it worth, spending the session out in LA?
And a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
A couple things. One is that you get a sense of how the industry works much more than you can on our classes. I mean, I think we have wonderful faculty, and a lot of people have done some professional work, but nobody's been day-to-day working in Hollywood. So just by hearing the stories of people and the kinds of jobs they have and how they moved up from just moving out there to where they are now, that's a great learning experience. Then the other practical part is the great contacts that you make. Networking is incredibly important in the entertainment business. It is who you know, and it is what you know. If you're an idiot and you know people, you might get your foot in the door, but it will catch up to you. But if you're hardworking and serious, and you know some people who can help you, because a lot of these jobs are not advertised, somebody leaves and they're immediately looking for a new assistant, and so it really helps to kind of be plugged in. And the neat thing is, we have seen people now out of the programs in Hollywood, and we've only had, I think, 6 cycles, but a number of the students who have done the programs are now working out there. And so we see it really hits, and I think they'd all admit that it would have been a lot harder for them to get their career going if they hadn't done the program and met the people that they did. So yeah, we're seeing tremendous payoff.
That's great to hear, and I know, I've heard great things about the program. I've had great experiences with it myself. And to close things up a little bit, we had Rick Ludwin on our show for our first show, and he's a little modest when it comes to, I guess, talking about the program. Can you share a little bit his involvement as far as what he does?
I mean, Rick is in the Miami Alumni Hall of Fame, if we had one, and it should be like #1. But his kindness overall to what we used to call mass communication, what we call media and culture now program, has been extraordinary. He's been funding a scholarship in his name for 25 years. And then with Hollywood, when it hit, again, one, he gave us his support. He got us into Conan now a number of times. He's also done a couple other sessions where he had students meet with the executive producer of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And he's also helped fund a scholarship, that makes it possible for students who might not quite have the financing to go to Hollywood. And so both his financial help, his contacts, and then he talks to the students about late night and gives them some unbelievable insights, because literally nobody knows late night TV better than Rick does. And so you're right, he's a good Ohioan and very humble, but the respect you see when we go to Conan and the way they look at Rick, and I remember a couple years ago there was a question asked of Conan and Jeff Ross, who's been Conan's producer since the first time Conan had his 12:30 show on NBC. And they kind of said, well, we're not sure. Actually, ask Rick. He knows more than we do about late night. So that says everything you need to know. I mean, for them to be that deferential. And so the fact that he gives his time, his resources to the program is just terrific.
Absolutely. And this program sounds incredible. Unfortunately, the upcoming session's closed, correct? So
yeah, we recruit pretty much at the beginning of the fall term, and by the end of September we've locked applications, and by early October we've made decisions, because we need enough lead time to work with the students to get them ready to get out there. And so so the next cycle will be when we come back in August. The window will be open for applications, and it can be any major. I mean, they tend to have some media background, but we've taken a couple business majors. We took an education major. major once. We've taken some theater majors. So as long as somebody's genuinely interested in the entertainment business, we're absolutely interested in talking to them.
Perfect. Well, for that, if you're interested in the program or just want to check it out, please visit www.miamioh.edu/studyabroad/Hollywood. Again, that is www.miamioh.edu/studyabroad/Hollywood. Thank you so much for coming on today.
My pleasure. Good seeing you.
It was great to see you too. Thank you.
So aren't you in my English class?
Yeah, I think so. Need any help with your homework?
Teach me to read.
Sally from Ancestry.com?
No.
Oh. So a lot of the charity work I do is with malnourished inner city kids.
This is so awesome. This has been a great first date.
I agree. So, you want to get out of here? You, me, Gary.
Okay, I'm not saying I joined ISIS, but
This may sound cliche, but I'm not from this world.
I know this may sound cliche, but
Let me guess, you're not from this world.
no. I'm you.
I love what you've done with your living room furniture.
How do you know that?
Well, binoculars are cheap.
And so the doctor told me that the snake bite would either kill me or give me superpowers.
Oh my God.
So the vet says there's nothing left to be done?
He said the cancer is spread everywhere. It's in his brain, lungs, intestines. He told me that Chance is constantly in pain.
This is going to kill Brett. The two of them grew up together.
I know, sweetie, but he's 15 now. He needs to learn about death.
But he doesn't have any real friends. Once Chance is gone, he'll have nobody.
Well, maybe that's a good thing. This could push him out of the basement, out into the world where he has to meet new people.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess we have to tell him.
You're right. Brett?
What?
Sit down, son.
Can you make this fast? I'm like in the middle of a really important quest.
It's about Chance.
Oh, yeah, about how he's dying.
How do you know that?
I heard you talking on the phone with the doctor about like an hour ago.
Oh, and you're okay with that?
Sure, I mean, everyone dies. It's inevitable.
Right, so do you want some time to process this? Maybe talk about it?
No, but I'm good. Can I go?
Sure.
All right.
Well, at least say your goodbyes tonight. Spend some time with them.
I just did.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're gonna make an appointment with the vet tomorrow and take Chance in. I know it would mean a lot to him if you were there at the end.
Oh, don't worry about that. I already took care of it.
Wait, what did you just say?
Oh, I already took care of Chance.
When you say you took care of,
I put him down.
You know, just to be clear, you're saying you killed Chance?
Yes!
when?
Like an hour ago.
Here?
No, not here, Dad. I did it outside.
You drowned him in our swimming pool?
I mean, you took away my knife collection, so what other options did I have?
But why?
Because he was dying, Mom.
But you didn't have to kill him.
Why not? It was super easy. He was like 20 pounds, didn't put up much of a fight.
You're asking me why you shouldn't have drowned our family dog in our swimming pool.
Well, the kid from Old Yeller did it. Plus, it saves having to pay for a vet, and I'm really busy tomorrow.
Son, I'm gonna ask you a question, and I want you to answer truthfully. Is this the first time you've done this?
Done what?
Killed an animal.
Yes, this is the first time I've killed a dog.
Wait. Why'd you say dog?
That's what you asked.
No, I asked if this is the first time you killed an animal.
Oh, well then no. I mean, like, I killed that deer last year when we went hunting. And then there was those squirrels, Mrs. Davidson's cats, that litter of kittens, but that was a group killing, so I really only count that as one. So, we good here? Can I go?
Yeah. So should we talk about this or?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go fish our dog's corpse out of our swimming pool.
All right, everyone, that's all the time we have tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for tuning in. As mentioned before, we apologize for not doing as many episodes this semester, but we do have new writers, actors, and people in production. So if you are interested in becoming involved, please email me. My email will be linked in the bio below. Feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in becoming involved in any way. We'd love to have you. Without the people behind the camera, none of this would be possible. So I want to thank them and thank everyone in front of the camera. Hope you enjoyed all the sketches tonight. Have a good night, and thank you very much.